All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. And what I had done in this video series, 37 videos as you can see thus far, is I've tried to present a couple of examples, the same examples that I used in both Python and in C#, to teach you a little bit about front-end programming, to go over a little bit of HTML, the hypertext markup language, CSS, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript. We built 3 different versions of our BMI or body mass index program. The first was we threw everything into basically one routine. Then we broke it up into other routines. And finally, we took something and made, I'm not going to say professional looking, but not too bad. Then we did the same kind of thing with payroll, but we made 2 versions of that. The first one was fairly simplistic. The second one was a little bit more, had a little bit more to it. So now what I'd like to do is to take these 2 applications, the BMI or body mass index application and the payroll application, and convert them from JavaScript to TypeScript. But before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about what TypeScript is. Now, I put this thing up there before, so maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but I'm going to go over it a little bit anyway. All right. Notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links. The first 6 are I want to go over all of these and talk about them with you. This first one here, boot.dev learn JavaScript, and I'm going to bring them all up. I have not gone through this. I started to go through it, but I didn't. And it sounds as though if you want, you can go through almost the entire thing, I believe, for free. But if you need help or whatever, you have to pay for it. Okay? Looked like it was pretty interesting, if nothing else. The next one is the TypeScript homepage. Now, this is a great place to start on your TypeScript journey. All right? Because some of the rest of the links that I'm going to show next were the TypeScript for the new programmer right here. So a little bit about JavaScript and the differences between JavaScript and TypeScript. TypeScript for JavaScript programmers, so if you've got some JavaScript experience. Also, they have a TypeScript for C# and Java programmers, for functional programmers. TypeScript tooling in 5 minutes. This handbook is totally online. Notice it says a great first read for your daily work. Well, if you go here, they talk about how it's structured, etc. And there's the same links. And then, boom, here's the basics. All right. Now, I don't think I probably know enough about this to tell you exactly where you should start, etc. But I've just shown you all of these. What I want to show you next is what's referred to as the TypeScript playground. There's a reason that I'm going through this with you right now. What you can do here is you can put in TypeScript right here, tell it to run, and what it will do is convert your TypeScript to JavaScript. All right, I believe it's called transpiration or something like that. All right, and we will talk about that in just a little bit. All right, now next, TypeScript in 5 minutes. I went through this. It's not bad, but it's what can you do in 5 minutes? Cold Steel is really good. He's got a complete TypeScript course out there. I may end up taking it eventually. I don't know. Then I have 3 different links in here from Free Code Camp. I'm going to show you a couple of them. This Learn TypeScript in an Hour. It's an interesting video, and let me tell you why. The gentleman who does this, he's not the one who does the video. The problem is the person who does the video.
This example, my number is explicitly annotated with type number and my string is annotated with type string. This makes it clear to both developers and TypeScript compiler what types is these The throw error function is throw error and never variable or function.
This is what you get. This guy has his voice through this. I don't know if you'd call that an avatar or whatever. And it's well done in that what he goes through in here are all these different components of TypeScript. I'm not going to read any of them to you. You can take a look there. I said it is very thorough. All right. So we've got that. Then we've got this, the Ultimate Beginner's Guide. And I noticed there was a cheat sheet and a PDF on here for TypeScript that you can download. I'm just going to close that. And then the other one that was here, where was it? Well, it was one of these two. I don't know if this is the one I just brought up or not. Bring them both up so you can see them. So there's Learn TypeScript, a comprehensive guide for beginners, and it's long, but again, it's a lot of the same stuff. All right, and then finally, it's raining outside behind me, so if you hear noise, that's the reason why. This is the Ultimate Beginner's Guide. All right, so if I was going to do this, I would, I'll tell you how I'm going to do this. How's that? I'm going to take what's in here because the gentleman who did this actually has a link somewhere in here where he's got all the notes. So I copied all of his notes, and I'm going to go through those in just a bit. All right. And I'm going to take all of the examples that he's given, and there must be about 50, I don't know, something like that. And I'm going to put each one of those examples into this TypeScript playground. After we do that, rather than jumping into BMI and jumping into payroll, I'm going to build one application. I'm going to build a fairly simple, yet pretty nice calculator. And I'm going to build it first in JavaScript, and then we're going to see what we have to do to convert it to TypeScript. So that's the plan. All right, what I'd like to do in the rest of this video, let's see. Oh, a couple more things that I found in here. This looked like it was pretty nice. It's a 21 video series from NetNinja on TypeScript. So it's a TypeScript tutorial. You can see it's okay. Looks pretty good. In fact, NetNinja's got all sorts of videos on all sorts of stuff. Now this is like 6 years old, but I think it's still very relevant today. All right. So let's see. This is the stuff that I got from learning TypeScript in 1 hour. This is what I gleaned from here to begin with. As it says, it's statically typed. What you're going to find is TypeScript is more like a, quote, normal or real or whatever you want to call it programming language than JavaScript probably is. As it says, it helps you write safer and more maintainable code. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. In other words, you can write total JavaScript and it'll run and it'll compile in TypeScript. All right. So with this course that they put out here, this 1 hour, it says in 1 hour you'll learn everything from basic types and annotations to advanced features like generics and interfaces. It walks you through with examples. So again, this is all the stuff that's in here. And what I attempted to do was later on when we go through the calculator program and we convert it to TypeScript, I try to stick as much of this stuff in here as I felt, made sense. All right. Hold on just a second. So I found a few things online, and I'm not going to lie to you, I basically just cleaned them. All right. So as it says here, TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. So it's like JavaScript plus. All right. The main reason for using TypeScript, as it says, is it allows you to add static typing to JavaScript. And what is that? Well, notice in here, this isn't the way you typically do it in TypeScript, but if you do this in JavaScript, if you create a variable, they called it foo, and they set it equal to the string hello. And then the next line or later in the program or whatever, they change it so rather than it being a string, it's a number. JavaScript allows you to do that without any problems. TypeScript, you can't do that. Now, there's another way of setting this up that they're not showing here, but I just want you to realize, as it says here, if you try doing the same thing in TypeScript, you're going to get an error. All right? Let's see once. If we go back to here and, okay, we've got this. Let's just come in here and do this. So I'm going to use their example. Let foo equal hello. All right, then foo equals 55. And notice, once you do that, let me make this bigger. Maybe I can't. If I put my mouse over this, it says type number is not assignable to type string. You can't do it. Now, is there a way around that? Yeah, but it's kind of silly. There's a type that's called any, which allows you to take any variable and change it from any type to any other type. All right? But when we did this, get rid of that. When we did this, in essence, what we told TypeScript was, this is a string. That's in essence what we told it to have happen. All right? So as it says, static typing means that the type of variable cannot be changed in a program. It can prevent bugs. So it is possible when you use JavaScript, all right, it is possible when you use JavaScript that you can introduce errors because in many ways the language is kind of lax. The JavaScript is what's known as a dynamically typed language. As it says, it means variables can change type. For lack of better words, these variables can be set at runtime. TypeScript, on the other hand, is not dynamically typed. So JavaScript is dynamically typed. On the other hand, TypeScript is statically typed, which means that at compile time, you have to let the system know, or the system must know, the type of variable you're using. And if you break the rules, so to speak, you're going to get an error. But you get the error before you've even run the program. All right. Drawbacks of TypeScript. Takes longer to write TypeScript than JavaScript, because you do have to specify types. But, well, also it must be compiled, okay? And it gets compiled into, quote, regular JavaScript, unquote. All right? So when we want to come in and set up TypeScript, there's really pretty much, I'm going to put this over here. There's pretty much about a 4-step process that you want to run through here. Number 1, you want to install Git if you haven't done so already. Number 2, you want to install Visual Studio Code if you haven't done so already. Number 3, you want to install Node.js. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And finally, number 4, you want to install TypeScript. Now, you already know this. I've already installed Git. I've already installed Visual Studio Code. But let's pretend for a second that I have not done these. All right? So I'm going to come over to here. And if I do come in here and I type in, not even install, how about download Git? It's going to bring me here. Right there. Now, if you're using a Linux machine, of course, it'll be different. But when you look right here, literally, and it's real easy to do, there's a whole book here that's for free online. It's a little outdated, but it's a good book that shows you all about Git. But if I go to Windows, you probably have a 64-bit machine. Just click right there and just accept all of the defaults. You'll be fine. So that's Git. So that would be number 1. All right, number 2, if we wanted to install Visual Studio Code. So for that, you go here, visualstudiocode.com/download. So that's the first 2. Number 3. All right. Download Node. Now, when you go to here to download Node, just so you see this, there's going to be 2 things that it's going to show you. All right. And it says, well, it's changed a little bit since the last time I was out here. But you do want the LTS. LTS means long-term support. All right. Let's just go to here. Let's not even go to the download right now. Yeah. There. So there's latest LTS and latest release. You want the latest LTS. That's long-term support. There's nothing wrong with using the other one, but it has things that are still in the testing phase. All right. So I'm going to get it. And I don't have it loaded on my machine right now. So let's see. Clipboard. All the stuff that's in it. Notice the last update. Pretty recent. All right. Guess we'll go here. And there it is. All right. Okay, so I'm going to click Next, accept the license agreement, click Next again, tell it I want it in program files, click Next again, just leave everything the way it is, Next, automatically install the necessary tools. No, I don't need that. and do the install. Okay, finish. Okay, that should be it. Now, to see whether or not this has worked, one thing I can do is I can get into Visual Studio Code. There's different ways of doing this as well, just so you know. But I'm going to get in here. And I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to right mouse click. I guess I have to get a new file. Let's just grab one of the files that we had. That's fine. We'll grab our payroll one that we had from before. That's fine. All right. And let's not even do it from here. Let's see if we can do it from here. I'm going to type CMD for a command prompt. All right. And what I'm supposed to do is type in, we're going to do that in a minute, but we're going to type in node -v. And it's telling you that we've now installed version 24 release 16.0 of Node. So it's on our machine. All right, next we want to type in this. NPM is the Node package manager. That's where all the software is, basically. We want to do an install. That's I -G, which means run it globally on my machine. And what we want is TypeScript. So I'm going to put that in, hit enter. It's doing its spinning. It's telling me it's in already. So now if I want to see whether or not I've got TypeScript, I can do this. And it's telling me I'm running version 6 of TypeScript. So it's all there. I've got everything I need to get started. All right. Now this how to compile and stuff, I'm not going to get into that right now. We will get into it. We have to. All right, we'll go in and we'll start to create our own stuff. Then we'll talk about this special file that you need. This tsconfig.json file and what it means and what's in there. All right. All right. Just want to go a little bit more and then we'll finish this first one up. As it says, JavaScript has basically, these are the different kinds of variables you have in JavaScript. There may be a few other ones, but that's them. All right, let's just stop right there. And what I want to do then in the next video is I want to come in, and this is what I copied from that Learn It in 1 Hour. You'll notice there's 1,500 lines. So we're going to go through, there's 15 sections in there. We're going to go through all of these. And what I will do is when we come to where there is an example, I'll put the example in to the TypeScript playground and then explain to you what's going on. All right. I'll be back with that. It may not be till tomorrow, but I'll be back with this.